YouTube, Marielle here. Today I would like to talk about how narcissists really can get under your skin. There are several ways, of course, and please remember that in my case, my narcissist or sociopath or psychopath, and which I refer to as my wolf, he's very much covert passive aggressive. And when I say covert, I mean total submarine, a complete submarine. His actions are all, deep underwater. Up until now, although I'm feeling that things are starting to escalate, and he's dropping the mask. So I'm entering into a new phase. I'm pretty sure of it. But anyway, so for me, how my covert passive-aggressive wolf, how he got under my skin, is, yes, by getting to know exactly who I was, what I enjoy, what I don't like, getting to know what my fears were, so he can amplify them and he can, make them come to life. And how to seduce me by not working very hard, but by using what he knows of me and what I like, and so he could just seduce me, get to the point, seduce me fast by reflecting those false images back at me, and using all of those tactics. And also there are things as well that they are capable as well of forcing you, and I think probably those will be the overt abusers. They can force you into enjoying things, liking things that are completely not so much of your, they can introduce you to things so that you become dependent on them for that. I'm going to try to explain what I'm trying to say, and I hope you can follow. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it can be very, very difficult, to separate a normal person to a person with such a pathology, especially a covert one. Because how do you separate that fake intimacy that they are creating with you, using things that they know about you? How can you separate that from a normal relationship where in a normal relationship everybody is on their best behavior and also trying to impress the other person? How do you make that difference? I'm pretty sure you get to make the difference only after, and even then, even in normal relationship, when things break down, it follows a little bit the same pattern as well. You get disinterested by the person, or you're upset with the person, and then you stop doing whatever you used to do together, right? And then that'll be the end of it as well. And it follows very much the same sequence kind of thing. So it can be very, very difficult to explain, but it doesn't matter how insignificant it can be to you, how silly it can be to you, how meaningless something may appear to you, how to the narcissist, a lot of things that you don't think about, that you can take for granted, has a meaning for them, and they'll use it. And usually all of those very insignificant things that you don't think much of will be used against you later, and you will feel the significance of whatever that thing is, whether it's a pleasure, a habit, a lifestyle, money, sex, whatever it is. You are going to feel the pain of it when they're gonna stop the gravy train, whenever they're gonna pull that rug from under you. You will realize just how attached you had become to, or not, yes, attached and dependent on that person. And I think that's part of the grooming process with them. They can use what you like to hook you. They can find something as well to force you to enjoy that they know later on they are going to stop supplying you with. I think there are several layers to try to understand this. First is that right from the moment they meet you, to start with, it's never love at first sight. It's always lust at first sight, and then it's test to see how the person, how empathic or how nice the person is, or how easy to manipulate the person is. And once that's established, then it's about finding out who you are, so they can start seducing you fast and lay tracks for the future. Because I think possibly most of them know who they are, and they know they're not lovable, and they know they're horrible people, and they know that one day you're going to wake up. They know one day you're going to become aware, and then one day you're going to want to probably run away from them. So that's why they're always a few steps, 10 steps ahead of you. They're always setting things up in such a way that they know that even when you're going to run, even when you're going to leave, you're going to suffer. You are going to miss whatever they forced you to get used to. You are going to miss them. It's part of the entire gaslighting things to make you you hate them but you love them. You want to run but you cannot run because you miss them. There's always that contradiction in your head and in your heart with them, always. And I don't know if I'm managing here to make myself clear. I probably should have wrote everything down first and then come with my points and and chronological order and make more sense. But I find it takes so much longer when I do that, and then editing and everything. I'm hopeless at it. So I just thought I'll just come and say it like that. But I hope you can follow what I'm trying to say here. The getting under your skin is essential to their game. And because they have this huge mental capacity as well, to enjoy the notion of their target suffering, even if they're not necessarily present, they have this huge capacity to plan it all out. And here's an example with me. I'm somebody who loves to walk. It's something that I was initiated by my grandmother. She loved walking, and she always took me with her. And also at the time when I was where I grew up, as a youngsters, we didn't use a lot of cars, so we walked a lot. So it's kind of part of me, really. And when I first got together with my wolf, I didn't do much of that. But when I started having children, I felt I need to start walking, and so I slowly, depending on where we were, I just got in. I just fell right back inside that routine of walking. And these days, I mean, I can, I walk in the morning and I walk at night, and if I can, I even squeeze in a third walk, uh, twice, if I can, 3 times a day. I absolutely love it. And it's just one of those simple family activities that I wanted to have as a family, as a group, whenever my husband was around. But he was never interested. He never wanted to come with us. So it was always me and the children, in a neighborhood walking around. And even though I would see other parents, other fathers, running around their family, just running, keeping up with their, not going too far, not going too fast. And even if they did, but they'll come back. My wolf made absolutely no compromise at all. He just was not interested. He was not going to have it. He just found all sorts of excuses until I just thought, never mind. So he never wanted to participate. Now my children are grown, my son is gone, and my daughter now she's 17 and she's doing her own thing, and she just doesn't want anything to do with it, which is fine. I'm not forcing her for that. For me, it was all about just it was just a case of instilling the habit within them, and then after that they do whatever they want. But I wanted them to have that habit. So that part of my job it's done. So I go and I do my walking by myself, and then suddenly here is my wolf, who comes now every now and then. Whenever he comes, it just goes, "Oh, you go for a walk? Well, I'll go with you." And in my head I'm thinking, what, you want to go with me? Oh, okay, why not? And here we go. So we'll go. And another time again, he's saying, "Oh, I'm going for a run. Why don't you just get on your bike and I'll just run circles around you, and we'll just go." And suddenly here is now always inviting me, and inviting me to join him, or for him to join me. And at first it was a shock, because it was completely unexpected. And then in my head I started to get angry. I couldn't help but get angry, because I thought, hang on a second. When I would ask you before, when I used to ask you to go with me and the children, you were never interested, and then suddenly you are? And again, in my head, but never actually saying that to him. And here again, here's another part of me coming, my usual voice, my rationalizing voice that will come in and start saying, "Oh, well, obviously he wasn't interested in the kids, but obviously he wants to reconnect with you. This is just his way of actually reconnecting with you and wanting to do something with you. So don't get all going back in the past and getting upset. Just take it for what it is." But now, luckily for me, now I can see for what it is. He doesn't care. It's not, this is my mind talking. This is my mind that has been groomed to accept the unacceptable. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to go with me. This is him laying his tracks. This is him setting me up. This is him trying to groom me and manipulate me into a situation to foster that false intimacy. And open so that I can open my heart to him. And, my whole, I'll be expecting, to have that connection with it, and I'll be depending on it. My heart will be open for that and expecting it and wanting it. He will then, at his convenience, whenever he will know or feel that I'm really, really into it and that I expect that from him, then he will have the pleasure to come up with all sorts of excuse for not coming, for all sorts of excuse for not coming, for disappointing me, for frustrating me, for hurting me. And in a very nice way. That's what I'm trying to say about how they get under your skin, if you follow what I've tried to describe here. That's what I mean. That's what he's trying to do. Provide me with something that he knows that I like, so later on he can have the pleasure of pulling that rug from under me, and knowing that he did that, he manipulated it, he completely set up the whole thing, and knowing that it will destabilize me, it will hurt me, it will be just another thing again for me to deal with, and he knows that, and that will be his narcissistic supply. That's him setting up his trap to get his narcissistic supply. There is no ending to their mental game to get to you. And you just, especially with a covert one, because there's no violence involved, and because with him everything is set up in such a way that you just don't see him coming, because he seduces you beforehand. Everything is done first by seducing you, making you relax, making you trust him, your alarms just cannot go off suddenly and think, oh my God, he's setting me up. It's so easy to fall into the trap.